Brought to you by Marcus & Mack, voted best personal injury law firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus & Mack, a law firm representing injured people. And we have with us today, and you can see them on our Facebook page as well, we have from the Community Guidance Center, we have Collin Nordby and Shelly. And I'm grateful that the two of you are here this morning to talk about mental health issues, because this is Mental Health Awareness Month. Good morning. How are you two doing?
Doing well, thank you.
All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and we're wrapping it up. The month is just about over for Mental Health Awareness Month. Could you both talk to us once again about why you feel mental health is an important issue that we need to address?
Well, mental health is just as important as physical health. And sometimes people think that, it doesn't happen to me, or it's very, people are
Shelly, I'm just going to ask you to take one pace closer to the mic. It
Okay.
won't bite. There you go. All right.
That it's rare, but actually 1 in 5 people will have some type of mental health issue or concern to deal with. And it can happen to anybody. It doesn't, what's the word I'm trying to think of?
It doesn't discriminate.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. Spreading awareness is crucial just because it helps to break the stigma. It helps encourage open conversation, educating people about, the impacts of mental health all around us.
That's the big thing, I think, the breaking the stigma of mental health, because the creative media, we'll say, has portrayed it throughout the years as being different. But we're seeing a change in that now. I mean, we've seen shows like The Good Doctor portray some mental health things in a more positive life. Mm-hmm. People living with it, people dealing with it, and treating it in a positive way.
And it's at all levels. I mean, there are so many levels. It doesn't, I feel like in our minds, it's been portrayed in the past that mental health is, it's very bad. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, it's all levels, even minute.
Yeah.
It's not really minute, but in the scheme of things.
In the grand scheme of things, it may look like it's minute on the outside, but on the inside it is a big thing.
Right. Yep.
So what are some of the common misconceptions that you would like to address today? Collin?
One of the common misconceptions, as Shelly mentioned, is that, some people think mental health is rare, or that it's not going to happen to me, it's going to happen to other people. In reality, it does affect everybody. Like Shelly said, 1 in 5 people struggle with mental health throughout their lifetime. Another, common misconception is that seeking help is a sign of weakness. Seeking help is a sign of strength in my eyes. It's a proactive step towards well-being, taking care of yourself. So I think those are a couple of the big things.
Also, one of the things that I was talking about this with Dr. Ralph May yesterday, getting to it early on.
Yes.
Because the problem does multiply, like a physical injury can multiply over time when it goes untreated, or a physical condition can multiply over time. So can a mental condition, right?
Sure.
Most certainly. Sure. I think to use the phrase early detection, we're managing something earlier on becomes much easier to deal with than letting it kind of spiral and snowball out of control.
Can you explain some of the impacts mental health has on overall well-being?
It can affect your physical health, like heart issues. It can affect your work, your relationships. It can affect your work relationships, productivity. It affects your family life. It affects your overall well-being, basically.
Yeah, I think it can have a huge impact on relationships, especially whether that be personally, professionally. Can really get in the way of a lot of different things, as well as, like Shelly said, the physical impacts of it that we don't typically see the connection there with.
Mm-hmm. Now, on the upside, if you do have some good mental health going, that's going to benefit you in the long run, right? Coping with stress, making good decisions, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Certainly.
I mean, we've heard of good stress and bad stress whenever I was in health class. That's
yes.
what I was trying to equate it to in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yes, certainly.
What are some signs people need to look out for?
Some of the signs, can include things like persistent sadness or anxiety, withdrawing from social activities, changes in eating patterns or sleeping patterns, irritability, loss of interest in daily activities or interests. If any of these sort of symptoms interfere with daily life or last for more than a couple of weeks, it's important to seek help. We all go through changes from day to day, but once they start to last a little while.
And again, there's no shame in asking for help, Shelly.
There is not. There is not at all.
All right. Say someone is feeling anxious, like maybe a student before they take a test, an actor about to go on the stage, getting the butterflies in their stomach. Maybe you can talk about it from that standpoint, because anxiety is just as much prevalent in mental health as anything else.
Sure. Anxiety is an extremely common, issue that most people deal with at some level in their lives. One of the easiest things is just distracting your mind, thinking something outside of the situation, outside of the scenario. One example commonly portrayed in TV shows or something is, picturing someone, or you're doing public speaking, picturing
someone in the buff. Yes.
Yes.
I've heard that one too.
So just doing something to distract your mind, using senses to soothe ourselves. An example, petting a dog or a cat, having your emotional support, getting something to fidget with your hands. A lot of people are into like aromatherapy, having a pleasant scent like a candle or something nearby. There's a bunch of different breathing techniques to utilize as well. Shelly, I don't know if you want to talk about that or you want me to keep going.
It doesn't matter. I know listening to Dr. Rahman give a presentation to a school district that we work with, and, he gave several examples. One is very simple, 4-7-8, which I tell my kids that all the time. It's just breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and breathe, exhale for 8.
I use something similar myself. I will say that whenever I do get nervous or anxious, because that does calm me down. It's amazing how much anxiety comes about from a lack of oxygen.
Yes.
Also, that also helps. That goes into what I've what I've been learning about a little bit about meditation. I mean, that also plays into it. I would imagine. And meditation is not just a religious thing; it is actually a technique to combat anxiety.
Most certainly, meditation can be a wonderful technique to use. I was blanking on the phrase that I wanted to use there. But just something to calm the mind, to focus on the breathing, and to slow those processes down, just to help us get back in the moment a little bit, I think is extremely important.
So how can friends and family support someone who is going through some mental health struggles? I mean, obviously, a support system is important.
Yeah, one of the most important things is to listen without judgment. Just to be there, as a support, as someone who can listen, not judge others as we're all prone to do. Encourage them to seek professional help. Offer to assist them in finding resources if they need assistance with that. Stay connected. Check in regularly. Let them know they're not okay. They're not alone. It's okay to ask for help.
Does the Community Guidance Center offer help for the loved ones as well, to kind of help them help their friends or family that are going through these issues?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. Yeah. So anybody can come into services with the Community Guidance Center, whether you yourself are struggling with mental health, or you have someone that you are close to that's struggling with mental health. You can give us a call, get set up for an intake, and we have plenty of staff available that would be willing to sit and meet with someone and try to help them process through that difficult time.
All right. What's the phone number?
724-465-5576, locally here in Indiana. Or you
Okay.
could always call the toll-free number.
Anything else you wanted to share about Mental Health Awareness Month before we wrap things up today?
I would just say that, it's okay not to be okay.
Mm-hmm. That's the common phrase that we've actually heard a lot over the past few years. It's okay to say you're not okay, or it's okay to not be okay, because we do have that conception. Oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, I'm fine, and
And
but
not
yet
really,
you're saying,
you're not.
and yet you're
Right.
saying to yourself,
Right.
why did I just say that? Anything else you wanted to share as well, Collin, before we say goodbye?
Just to make sure that you're taking time for yourself every day. Whether that's doing something you enjoy or talking to someone that you care about, just making sure you're taking that time each day to do a quick check-in on yourself and reaching out if you need some help.
Community Guidance Center, always willing to help out. The number, once again, is
724-465-5576.
And do you guys have a website as well?
We do.
What's the web address?
TheCGC.com.
TheCGC.com, and I'm sure from there you can also find the social media as well.
Yes,
That
sir.
is right.
Excellent. Well, thank you both very much for coming in to talk about it. It's a very important issue, And the fact that we're kind of limited to a month on this, we should be talking about this kind of
Every
at
day.
least once a month. You know?
Right.
All right, but thank you both very much again for joining us on Indiana in the Morning. It's a very important topic, and as long as we can continue to discuss it in public, in these sorts of situations, who knows? We may break that stigma. Thanks again.
Yes,
Thanks,
thank you.
Josh.
Thanks again to our friends from Community Guidance Center, Shelly Nippes and Collin Nordby, for joining us on Indiana in the Morning, presented by First Commonwealth Bank. Our interview segments presented by Marcus and Mack, voted Best Personal Injury Law Firm in the Best of Indiana County contest. Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people.